Hello guys, Dan here, welcome back. In today's video I got myself like 3 sets of these Presinct Sigma MDF bases, and I'm going to paint them in preparation for the Crimson Stone. Actually I wanna use these ones for my Nomads part of the box, so I'm going to paint them in the style of like a Tunguskan spaceship with a lot of red. Important thing when you prime these bases is to use enamel spray because the MDF will soak the paint from the normal sprays, so you want to use this one because this one will create like a plastic finishing on the top. I use this Rust-Oleum one white one, and I just primed all my bases with a few coats of this spray. And now just for the sake of the speed, I'm going to use the airbrush. For the paint, I choose to be a black red from Vallejo, and I'm just going to spray all these bases very lightly with this color. I will go in 2 or 3 very light passes until I'm satisfied with the color. Also, you can do this with another spray can, or if you don't have any, you can do it with a paintbrush, but just I want to let you know this will take a lot of time to do it, especially that I'm like doing around 25 or maybe even 30 bases at this moment. As you can see, after 3 passes my red is already a little more vibrant, and this is the way how I want it to look actually. Next step is completely optional, so if you don't have an airbrush you can totally skip this part. What I actually did here is I added a little of the dead white, which is actually an airbrush color, into my previous color, and created like a very light pinkish highlight. So now I will go around these bases and I will just spray it in the middle of 2 or 3 panels, just in some random patterns, just to create a highlight. It will be like more interesting later in the highlight stage and when I finish the whole base. Only one advice here is that you don't want actually to overdo this, because you don't want to draw the attention to the base from the actual model, because we all want our models to be in the focus of the whole picture, not only the base. For the next step, I'm going to pick up a pale blue, and just in 2 thin coats I'm going to paint some panels in this color, because I want them to be like a mix between the red and like a bluish grayish white. And because I have 2 sets of these bases, I'm going to mirror the patterns that I'm doing on some of them. So I will just go around and make some diversity in these bases. As you can see, they already start looking nice. There is only a few details left that I have to do, and the first one of them is to outline all the recesses and all the spaces between the panels. By adding the 3rd color, which is darker, this will work as a natural shade or a shadow, especially as I'm doing it inside the recesses. For this I'm going to use ink. Actually, I'm using Liquides black ink for this, and one of my smallest brushes. So this will make my job super easy, because the ink will naturally flow inside the recesses and fill them up. So you just need to slightly pull your brush and the ink will do all the job for you. And I have to say, this will be very clean when you do it this way, so the black ink won't spill anywhere around, only on the places where you actually want them. As you can see, this is my final result. And since we are done with the shadows, now natural thing to do is to apply the highlights. So this is going to be the last step that we are going to do, is to use the pure white and go around the bases and trace all the sharp edges and just make those highlights. So they don't need to be continuously long, you can just make them in the few separate sections, but try to outline as much of them as you can actually. As I need to say that This was the longest part for me doing those bases, because there is a lot of these edges and you actually want to try to do most of them to complete the look. Especially that I had like 25 of them only by spending like 2-3 minutes on one. It lasted like for a couple of hours for me to do it. But if you do it in the smaller sections, like it can be pretty fast. I wanted to do all of them at once, so now I have all the bases that I will probably need for the whole release of the Operation Crimson Stone, so I think I'm settled. And for the end, I added one more little detail with my airbrush, and I used a lime green and I just sprayed on the top of these lights, just to create the effects of some lights coming from the floor. And guys, this will be it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It will mean a lot to me. And if you have any comments or suggestions or any questions, please leave them in the section down below and I will try to do my best to answer. This will be all for now. Stay safe, take care, and see you soon. Bye bye.